I'm heading into the mountains right now during the first snowstorm of the year for an overnight winter camping trip. I'm a little bit nervous. Winter camping requires a lot more skill and is a lot more dangerous, and usually I ease into the trips, but right now I'm diving right into it with really cold temperatures. It's supposed to get down to -5 degrees Fahrenheit or -20 degrees Celsius tonight, and then the forecast for snow is over 30 centimeters by the time this storm is done tomorrow morning. So I'm not feeling super prepared for this trip, and I don't know if you guys have felt this before, but I also feel like I've forgotten something, and that's not something that you want to happen when you're going out on a winter camping trip. This is going to be an interesting trip. It's snowing hard, it's windy, it's cold, and we're going to be heading up that way into a random camping area, so I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be camping, and with the snow it's going to make it a lot harder to find a campsite to hunker down in. Right now there's not a ton of snow on the trail, just about 10 to 15 centimeters, but that might change by tomorrow morning, and that might make getting out of here quite difficult. I've already made a mistake, and that's not to follow my own advice of being bold and starting cold. When you're at the car, it always feels really cold and that you need all the layers. And for that reason, I put on my shell layer here, but I don't need it. Walking up that hill and hiking with a pack, I'm overheating already, so I need to take this layer off. And that happens all the time. I go backpacking with people and hiking with people, and obviously I do it too, where I start too warm at the car, and then within 5 minutes, I'm having to take layers off. Windy. The nerves have kicked in. I'm a little bit anxious. It's a lot windier and snowier than I thought it was going to be. We're in a little bit of a lull right now for the wind, but it's gusting quite hard. And the place that I'm heading to and I was planning on camping is really exposed, which the wind is just gonna pummel, and that might lead to some issues with my tent. So I'm starting to think of some contingencies where I might be able to camp that's a little bit more protected, because I don't want to put myself in a dangerous situation, especially right now where I'm not feeling super confident, and I'm the only one out here. There's no one else who has gone up this trail, and I'm gonna be in a pretty remote area during a snowstorm, so I want to be keeping it safe as much as possible. So you can see up the valley there, somewhere in this area is where I was planning on camping, but the wind is coming straight down the valley here and then pummeling that area, so I don't think it's gonna be a good call. I might go check out this right here, or there's another spot right there that might be good, a little bit more sheltered, a little bit more protected. There's some trees on either side. Let's go check them out and see what they're like. This first spot's looking pretty good. We got some flat ground right here and it's not too rocky. There's not enough snow to actually do good dead man anchors or to pack down a good base, so I'm gonna actually be putting some tent stakes into the ground. But I want to go check out that second spot because it looked really flat, really nice, and had a little bit more protection. So let's go see what that's like, and then we'll pick and choose which one we're gonna stay at. This second spot is looking pretty good as well. Nice flat area right here, some good tree protection. I think I'm gonna choose this one just because there's a little pathway that goes down into the river over there, so I'll get some water access. And the river hasn't frozen over yet, which is nice. It's gonna make things a lot more convenient. Melting snow to make water is a big pain in the butt. Time to get things set up and see if I forgot anything. I still have that little feeling in the back of my mind that I forgot something, but hopefully it's nothing too important. I've got a bunch of new gear that I'm trying out on this trip, which is part of the reason why I was a little bit more nervous than usual, in addition to the fact that it's my first winter camping trip of the year. But new tent here. This is a Dyneema pyramid tent. I've had it out a couple times already and I'm loving it. It's really roomy, super lightweight, really easy to set up. And then for my sleep system, I got a new sleeping pad down here. So this might look like your everyday Thermarest, but it's not. But you guys are gonna have to wait until a later video to figure out what that is. And then we got a new quilt on top here, and that is going to be a game changer for me for cold weather camping as well. Really excited for this one. With camp all set up, it's time to cook some dinner. I haven't forgotten anything so far that's critical, but I am a little bit worried about my sleep system. The X-Lite that I brought only has an R value of 4.5, and it's getting cold real quick. And it's winter time. There's snow on the ground, so hopefully I don't get cold coming up from the ground and cooling me off, especially because I am using a quilt. But the quilt that I have is a little bit special, and I think that if it does start getting really cold, I should still be okay with the system that I have in there. I'll have to let you guys know in the morning how it goes. Well, I may have forgotten some gear or maybe some skills from over the summertime. I also forgot how much I love winter camping. It's so peaceful out here, and I love that you can get out camping and backpacking in the wintertime, especially with the gear and technology that we have right now. You can stay toasty warm out here, even when it's getting well below freezing. I know a lot of you out there, you stop camping and backpacking once the fall hits, once winter hits, but I encourage you to try going out and pushing your limits, moving the needle a little bit as the temperatures get colder. I think you'd be surprised with how cold you can go and still be comfortable and have a ton of fun. Having a hot meal right now is really nice because it's getting cold fast, guys. I have this Bluetooth thermometer that I leave outside my tent, and it can tell me what the temperature is just on the screen there. Right now is -8 degrees Celsius, and it's dropping real fast. So curious to see how cold it gets overnight. I'll let you guys know in the morning with my morning temperature check like I do in every video. It's also getting dark real quick, so I'm gonna be hopping in my tent real soon here. You guys saw a little contraption that I put around my sleeping pad. I'll share with you guys what that is and what its purpose is once I'm set up in my tent. I have a lamp in there as well, so I'll have nice ambiance for everybody. And yeah, it's a pretty cool setup. Yeah, I'm liking this. This tent is super roomy, a lot of space, and it weighs about 1 pound, so it's super lightweight. This is probably going to be my go-to tent moving forward for winter camping trips when I'm going alone and I'm not hot tenting. But even if I was with someone else, there's still lots of space. We could set up on either side of the tent here and to be super roomy still. But I promised you I'd talk about what this orange thing is wrapped around my sleeping pad. It's made by Thermarest. It's called the Trekker chair. And the way it works is that there's these attachments on the side that you pull on. And then the way the whole system is constructed, it pulls the sleeping pad up. And then it creates this chair system. And this is so nice if you're on winter trips because you can lounge out inside of your warm sleep system, maybe watch a movie on your phone. And I have some snacks here ready to go in order to watch a movie, maybe read a book. and I'm gonna be super comfortable. I'll touch base with you guys in the morning, let you know how cold it got and whether I had any issues with my sleep system overnight. Wow, it snowed a lot last night. It probably doubled the amount of snow that was on the ground when I got to camp, and that might make getting out of here a little bit difficult. You can't really see it, there's a little bit of an indent, but this is the trail that I came in on. And it was pretty well worn down because I went down it a couple times in order to go get water, and it's completely filled in. Well, I was expecting this much snow, and I'm only a few kilometers from the parking lot, so even if we got a lot more snow, I'd be able to make it back, no problem. Getting unexpected amounts of snow has killed people in the backcountry. You get a lot of snow, you're unable to make it through it quickly, you get exhausted, you get tired, you're unable to make shelter quick enough, and then the elements get you and you're not able to make it. And this has happened quite a few times to a lot of people. Someone recently told me a story about a group on the Annapurna circuit. They got caught in a big snowstorm, and because of how much snow came and how exhausted they got, they weren't able to make it out. You can see the amount of accumulation really well on the side of the tent here, all the snow that's sloughed off. And then the ledge from where I slept inside the tent to the outside. I slept really comfortable last night. I told you guys that I was a little bit worried about my insulation. And with the reflective mat, a foam mat, and then the X-Lite, I had enough ground insulation that I was able to stay warm quite well. Temperatures got down to about minus 10 degrees Celsius and stayed there pretty much the entire night, which is rare. You don't usually get that kind of constant temperature over the course of the entire night. And that allowed me to test out a really cool feature of the quilt slash sleeping bag that I brought. This is the Enlightened Equipment Conundrum, and it has a zipper that goes up the entire middle of it like a sleeping bag, and then it has pad straps and sleeping pad strap attachment points, so you can use it exactly like you would a normal quilt. To start the night, I tested it out unzipped and using it exactly like I would a normal quilt, and I was plenty warm. And then halfway through the night, I woke up to go pee, and I thought maybe this would be a good time to test out it in sleeping bag mode and then compare the two. So I zipped it all up, undid the pad straps, used it in sleeping bag mode, and I was also warm in that mode as well, which is interesting and confirms a theory that I've always had but haven't been able to test as precisely as this, where if you have a quilt that's set up properly, it's going to be just as warm as a sleeping bag. I've tried to standardize testing sleeping bags and quilts as much as possible in the past by having quilts and sleeping bags that have similar warmth ratings, using them with the exact same ground insulation, and then trying to get the same conditions and temperatures outside, but I've never been able to test it this precisely with the exact same ground insulation, same outdoor conditions, and basically the exact same sleeping bag and quilt. Started clearing up quite a bit, a lot clearer than yesterday, which will hopefully give us some nice views walking out, and then you can see some blue skies over there. There's gonna be a lot of snow, it's gonna be a tough walk out, but nice views make it better. I've been moving pretty good. The snow isn't slowing me down too much. It helps that a group of hunters has come down the trail and packed it down a little bit. The sign that tells me they're hunters is that their left foot stride is quite a bit longer than their right foot stride. And that's a telltale sign of hunters. And the reason for that is because of the way they carry their guns, it's easier to take a big step with the left foot. So that just becomes habit in them. So you can tell a hunter right away based on that stride. Just kidding. I know they're hunters because I ran into them on the trail as they're heading in. But if you want to see all of my winter camping videos, go check out that playlist right up there. I have videos about all the gear that I bring, tips and tricks that are essential to survive in winter camping conditions, and a whole bunch of trips.